Okay, so anybody who's seen any of my previous videos recently will know that I just fairly recently acquired this classic vibe Mustang. You can see in the wall behind me there. Um, that guitar was part of a factory special run which was originally just for the Japanese market, but some of them recently became available and I managed to get one. The whole sort of story about that's on my other video, so if you want to check back and you're interested, just check back on it. Now I've been doing a lot of different upgrades to this guitar. I put some locking tuners, humbucker and the bridge and different things like that. And the last thing to come for it is this little thing here, which is a Staytrem Bridge for a Mustang, and I think you can put them on Jaguars as well. The bridge that came as stock with it is fine, but it's the wee sort of grub screws for height adjustments and stuff like that, and it can be a wee bit rattly, and I really wanted something that was going to be really stable, fixed as well, because I won't use the trem, although you can use the trem with this as well if you want, and just something that was going to be really good quality. Now I did a bit of research and a lot of people were saying you should go for the Mastery bridge and things, which is a really expensive bridge, but apparently it's really good. But one of the other ones that was coming up was this Staytrem Bridge, which is made by a guy, I think it's in England, certainly in the UK, because he only ships to the UK. The reason for that I don't know. It might have been because he was getting too busy and couldn't keep up with demand, because I had to actually wait a couple of weeks for him to make this for me. But apparently they're really good. I'm going to get it onto the guitar and I'm going to see how good it actually is and how stable it is. Now it's not particularly cheap. It was £71, including delivery, which is not too bad when you consider the Mastery bridges are about £170 or something, so it's a good bit cheaper. But after doing a good bit of research, apparently these are really, really good bridges. So you can get it in either the 7.25 radius or the 9.5, which is what mine's is. So it's a sort of fixed radius, so you don't need to adjust the saddles or anything. It's already set, but you've got your height adjustment on either side here. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to get it on the guitar, get the guitar strung up and see how it performs and see if it's worth the 71 quid that I paid for it. So let's have a look. Okay, so here it is. I've got it on the guitar. It's all set up and the strings and that are on there. And I'll just try and show you in the camera there. As you can see, it's got a kind of nice brushed chrome look, which is quite classy looking. The saddles here you can see are quite thick. There's quite a lot of mass in the saddles, so they seem to transfer the vibrations for the strings onto the body really well. It's stable, there's no noises, everything's staying in tune fine, intonation is fine. I didn't even have to set that, it was actually set perfectly when I put it on, so I'm assuming the guy that makes them must measure that out pretty well. As I say, these only ship in the UK as far as I know. But I dare say if you're out with the UK, if you were to ask somebody to order one for you, they would order it and send it to you wherever you might be. But I would highly recommend it. £71, it's not particularly cheap, but when you look at it in comparison to the likes of the Mastery bridge, which is, as I say, apparently a really good bridge, I'm not knocking it or anything, but it's very expensive. This is certainly as good as anything that I'll need anyway. As I say, I'm not using the trem. It can move as well if you want it to be the moving trem, but you get wee sort of washer things with it that you can use to keep it fixed, which is the way I've got it. The other thing to mention about this, which is actually another positive in my opinion, is the string spacing is ever so slightly smaller than what it was in the stock bridge, which is actually better because it stops you. Sometimes if you're high E, or any of the E's actually, can be a wee bit closer to the edge of the fretboard and can have a tendency to slide off there, depending on your technique, but some of them are really quite close. This just brings the strings in just ever so slightly, and it's just enough to make it that you don't really have that problem, which, as I say, for me is actually quite a big positive. But yeah, that's the Staytrem Bridge. Check out the website, check out the reviews. All the reviews I read were really positive, which is one of the reasons why I bought it. But yeah, solid, reliable, looks good, and that's really all you can ask for, I suppose. So I'll just play a wee bit. What I want to do, in fact, as well, is just to kind of run through the modifications that I've done to this guitar since I got it. Obviously I've got the Staytrem Bridge, I put the Seymour Duncan JB in there. I was really trying to model it on the Cabane model. A new pick guard, which I got on eBay. Switchcraft switches I put in there as well, just a bit more reliable, you know, a bit more sturdy. The Goto thumb wheel locking tuners, which are always really stable. I try and put tuners like this on every guitar that I've got. I just find them much easier to string up, and they're just a lot more stable in my opinion. I put new pots in there as well, 500k pots, because I was putting the humbucker in there, but it's fine with the single coil as well. Orange drop tone capacitor, and I think that's pretty much it. So I spent a wee bit of money. I probably spent a couple of £100 on upgrades, but I don't regret it at all. They're all really worthwhile upgrades, and it's got it to a stage where it's really stable. I don't have any issues. I could gig this, no problem at all, and it's just a joy to play now. And if you keep an eye on the channel, I'm going to have another guitar really quite interesting coming up soon. As you know, if you've seen the earlier videos, this is a classic vibe, the early classic vibe Mustang from 2011. These were made only for the Japanese market at the time. The story's in the other video. I won't bore you with the whole story, but anyway, they were found and I managed to get one. They're pretty rare, and obviously I've done it up to the sort of spec that I wanted to get it to. So there you go. I'm going to play a wee bit just to let you hear how the guitar sounds now. And yeah, that's it. Very happy.